What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Mammoth Lakes. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this little microphone that I was using turned out to be broken, meaning quite a lot of footage is not usable, but I want to see what we can salvage from this video. Now, Mammoth Lakes, of course, is very big, with quite a few lakes and creeks to fish in, lots of small fish, but also some big fish patrolling these waters. It is therefore very difficult to pick one particular spot to focus on, but I decided that for this video we'll only focus on Lake George. Alright, but let's get straight into the action.
There.
Hi. Finally caught a little trout, little rainbow. Get him off the hook. And off he goes. Lovely little baby rainbow. Let's get him back in the water.
Enjoy.
Made that look too easy.
Alright guys, just got a lovely little rainbow on the dry fly. Let's get the fly out of his mouth. I'm using little white dry fly. Little white pattern on top of the water. Just want to give the fish some oxygen. Lovely little colours on him. Small stocked rainbow trout, most likely. Let's get him out of the net so he can swim off. And there he goes, swimming underneath the rock. Lovely little rainbow trout. Let's try that again. And he came off the hook. Just want to make sure he's fine. He looks stuck. Let's get him out. Big eyes on this rainbow trout. See if we get him back into the water. Just want to make sure the fish is fine. Revive him a bit. And off he goes. With these fish, it's very important to try and keep them in the water, not do as I do and remove them from the water if you want to release them. But if you do take them out of the water, it's important to make sure that they swim off fine. Otherwise they end up dying. You can also see some fish that's already dead around in the area. Finally got one on the dry fly. Small guy, let's see what it is. Got ourselves another tiny little rainbow trout. Let's get him off the hook. Back into the water. And off he goes. Alright guys, the wife managed to get fish on. Quickly land him. And it's another tiny little rainbow trout. Lovely colours on this one. Quickly get the fly out of his mouth.
It's open the lip, but this skinny little guy is slippery. There we go.
And to the camera.
Okay.
Nice little guy. Let's get him back. And off he goes. Always best to make sure that they're fine before swimming off. That one's swimming off very nicely. So, well done. Another little rainbow landed. We can. Alright guys, we have a tiny little rainbow on again. Quickly get the net to land him. And there he goes, back into the water. swimming ever so slowly and gently. But at least it's good to see these fish swimming off. Been seeing quite a lot of dead fish in the water. That's why it's important to handle these fish with care. Another little rainbow on the dry fly. Let's quickly get him out of the net. Wife is kind enough to get the fly out for us. Lovely colours on this one. Lovely little dots and stuff on him. Let's get him back into the water. Get a nice release on him. There he goes, ever so slowly swimming back. Alright guys, it's extremely hard to get the actual hook set on camera for one simple reason. These fish are swimming around and we're literally sight casting towards them, letting the little fly sit on top of the water, giving it a small jigging motion, and you can see the fish come up and grab it. That's when we set the hook. But of course it takes not hours but minutes, long time standing around, being quiet, keeping still, trying to find some fish, trying to cast towards the fish, not scare them off, slowly jigging the little fly, trying to get their attention, and every once in a while one will go for it. So we've been getting quite a lot of bites, but it seems like for every 10 fish we actually miss, we finally land one. Have a very high miss to land ratio. Problem with using barbless hooks as well, but it's still lots of fun trying to find these fish. There's one going for it and he stopped. Been getting that quite a lot. Fish getting near the little fly but not committing to it, bailing out at the last moment. Been seeing quite a lot of fish a bit further out than what we're casting, but at the moment we have some trees and bushes behind us, so we cannot cast out that far. There we go guys, a bit bigger rainbow trout, lovely colours on this one. Got him on a little trout magnet. Just want to give him some oxygen, then we get him off the hook. Been seeing quite a lot of big ones swimming around, but happy to finally get at least one of the bigger ones for my trip so far. Get him off the hook. And there next to the log he goes back into the water. Would have liked to get a better release on that fish, but they are quite feisty. The moment the hook was out, lost grip on him and he went back into the water. But no harm done. Let's see if we get some more.
No.
Alright, so we're taking separate precautions with this fish for the simple reason this is a new species for me. First time catching a brook trout. Lovely white on the fins. The brook trout of course is not a true trout, it's actually a char. Let's quickly get the hook out. Lovely little colours and spots. My first brook trout ever. Nice pinkish spots on him. Okay, so this is what we were hoping for, hoping to get a new species. Getting lovely little brook trout. Alright guys, let's get a release on the fish. And off he goes. Small fish, but lovely to catch one, adding a new fish to the live list. There we go guys, fish for the wife as well. Rainbow trout. This little trout actually bent the hook, so we're quickly going to cut the hook so we can remove it safely. He was in the water the entire time. Just want to make sure he's fine so he can swim off. Quickly going to take him out with the camera.
There you go.
Lovely little rainbow. Let's get him back into the water. And away he goes. In this particular clip, I was trying to explain how we had a lot better luck using little white dry flies or little black dry flies, also getting lots of fish on night crawlers. We've been struggling to find fish on stuff like the inline spinners or using power baits, but the main reason for this clip was actually to show this big fish. Now I want to stress that we did not catch this fish. It was caught by another angler. Sadly it was gut hooked and it died shortly after being caught. This angler did not eat fish and thus offered it to us, and we thought, hey, we didn't catch it, but we can still do a clean and cook. Not planning on keeping any fish, we didn't have a good filleting knife or anything to clean the fish with, but luckily the wife managed with what we had on hand, and I quickly want to share with you guys the recipes and stuff we used for making an entire dinner on the fire. So we have our little potatoes down at the coals, sealed in their little bag to boil in there, and then we have the rest, little mushrooms and spinach. We have in here steaming at the moment to melt the cheese and cook the spinach. And now we're placing our fish. Now that everything is nearly ready, placing the thickest parts first, skin down. This is the point where we want to add our lemon to the salt and pepper one.
You don't add it too soon, can't cook it. So.
If you add the lemon too soon, it will automatically start cooking the meat, the acidity. So you want to do that on the fire. And a few minutes later we just add in smaller parts, as they will cook a lot quicker. So you can clearly see a color difference between the one with the lemon and the one without. The one with the lemon, acidity cooking it already, making it look a bit paler. And there we are, guys, all plated. Let's do the most important thing, the taste test. This clip is the taste test, where we compare the two different styles of fish against each other, and the wife and I were both in agreement that we did prefer the salt and pepper and lemon above the brown sugar spice mix. And this would have been the end clip, where I ask you to like, comment and subscribe. So go ahead and do that if you haven't already. But instead we're going to end up with this. We truly had a great time out there, testing out all the different baits and lures to try and find some fish, and it truly was fun. And I do believe that the average guy is not necessarily going to be catching some of these big 10-pounders, but the only way you're going to know that for sure is to get out there and try fishing and see if you can get some. Alright guys, but I want to thank you for watching and following us on this adventure, and I'll see you next time.